All right. Chuck, who are you?
I'm an educator and community builder and a friend and a father and a lot of different things. Right now I'm an interviewee.
All right, and when we talked about doing this interview, you said you wanted to talk about community building.
Yeah.
So can we talk about that?
I'd love to talk about community building. I live in the middle of nowhere, Japan, and so because of that, I've really had to work at building communities to have people to talk to because I've been kind of lonely, really. And I started a few years ago to see the possibilities of using Facebook and Twitter, mostly Facebook at first, to build a community of teachers. And there are now about 9,000 people. Yeah, I've been inspired by people like Stephen Herder and Philip Shigeo Brown and others who have formed a group called MASH, Meet, Ask, Share, Help, mashcollaboration.com. And all these things, they kind of led to conversations about, how can we build a community of teachers around the world and really help everybody to get better at being a teacher? Because, I'm just a teacher too, really, and just a guy. So we started talking, and the more we talked, something started to happen. And so we're about this month to launch a new project called the International Teacher Development Institute, or ITDI, with Barbara Hoskins Sakamoto and Stephen Herder and Gareth Knight, formerly of Cambridge, Scott Thornberry, Adrian Duff, some really fabulous people, and that's not everybody. This is the names that come to mind right now, but really great things. And our aim is really to improve education around the world, because we work with a lot of teachers, all of us, when we do teacher training sessions. And they're not the kind of teachers, really, that we see at KOTESOL and other conferences, because these conferences are expensive, right? There's a lot of teachers who, around the world who've not really had access to professional development. And so we really wanted to build something that would help them get better. So we want everybody to be in our community. And it's not a matter of us being real mentors and having people learn from us, but we want to learn with people. Because one thing that Stephen Herder taught me really is that anything I can do, we can do better. And that's absolutely true. So.
You said low-cost quality professional development. Mm-hmm. How does it become low cost? I mean, are you going to go around to schools? Are you going to provide it electronically? How does ITDI work?
It's primarily an online program, almost entirely online. And it's very, very low cost, about the price of a cappuccino or a cup of coffee, really, or 2 cups of coffee, really. But for that, teachers will have, they can buy, there's 2 programs, really, so if I can back up a bit. We have the English for Teachers program, which is designed for non-native teachers to help level up their English, while at the same time inviting them to join into the professional community. I know you've seen my Facebook page before.
Yes.
A lot of the teachers that we aim to work with are those teachers on my Facebook page, for example, who right now all they can do is give a thumbs up. Yeah. They really don't know the vocabulary, and they don't know quite enough yet to really join the conversation. So English for Teachers is a content-based course about teaching. At the same time, we build up their English ability. And so that's one program. And the other is a teacher development program that's been done by Stephen Herder and Scott Thornberry and Adrian Duff. And that is all about, there's eventually going to be over 100 modules. And each module is a standalone. People can decide, do we want to learn about pronunciation, or do we want to learn about teaching writing, or people can pick and choose from these. And they get, by buying one module, people get access for a month into the community. And we hope that the community will be so relevant and so cool for them that they'll just keep coming back.
And if you were interested in joining the community, how could you join? I notice you have, is this linked to Design for Change or is that separate?
They're two different programs. I mean, they serve the same purpose, really. And Design for Change is a program that I got really involved in a couple of years ago. It was launched by Kiran Bursathi in India. And I've worked to spread that in a bunch of different countries now. But that's about empowering students, empowering kids to believe that they can make a difference. And so there's that. Yeah. And then the ITDI, it's got the same premise, really, to empower teachers to believe that they can be better, that they really can make a change and can really change the world one classroom at a time. Yeah. So completely different, but same idea, really. Okay,
cool. Because Design for Change really interested me. I heard you talk about it, and I've seen some of the stuff you've put up and things. And ITDI, I went to the website, and, you know, it's still in development, as you said. Sort of thing. So I was just interested in how those linked in. One's targeting the students, one's targeting the teachers.
As I said, they're just completely different things, really, completely different entities. But I mean, this is, to go back to the initial question of who I am, I'm somebody that really wants to make a difference. And I saw Design for Change. I saw Kiran Bursathi's TED Talk a couple of years ago now. I guess it was 3 years ago now. And what it is one teacher in this school in India who had this idea that, just if I could talk briefly about what Design for Change is, it's kids working in groups of 5 talking about what bothers them. So feel, imagine, do, share. So feel is what bothers you in your community, what really makes you upset. And then the next step is, okay, choose one of these things. And let's focus on some action plans. What can we do about changing this? And then, okay, what's doable like in a week? What can we actually go out and do? Yeah. And then do it. And then at the same time document it and share it on the Design for Change website. And what happens with this is that when kids do this, they get this feeling of being empowered. And then they go on to continue to be change makers. Right? So that's Design for Change. And again, it's just about one teacher who's taken this one idea from her classroom, spread it throughout her school, spread it across India to 32,000 schools in basically a year. And as of now, I think it's in 26 countries around the world. Yeah. And it involves this year about 1 million kids, right? 1 million change makers. So, I mean, although ITDI and Design for Change are different, it's the same idea. We want to empower teachers to be better with ITDI, and we're really hoping that by raising people up, we'll break them out of what I call the cycle of failure. Yeah. And the cycle of failure is something I used to think a lot about students. So students often come to us trapped in this triangle. And on one corner of the triangle is low confidence. And the other corner is low motivation and low ability. So this works for teachers too, really. And especially I think sometimes non-native teachers or people working in really difficult, stressful environments, they start to feel bad about themselves. They start to feel like they're alone. And this low confidence that they have tends to lower their motivation. And it happens to me too. And then it lessens their effectiveness, their ability in the classroom. So in the same way that Design for Change aims to break kids out of that cycle of failure, I mean, ITDI aims to break teachers out of the cycle of failure and turn that really into a cycle of success. You're great. And if I can show you one thing, this is my T-shirt. I'm going to have to stand up a minute and take my jacket off. I'm going to turn around. So this is on camera. You see that? It says surprise, surprise, which is a combination of surprise and praise. And it's an idea that comes originally from one of our ITDI associates, Vladimira Mipilkova in Slovakia. And what it means really is a combination of, as I said, surprise and praise. So we surprise people. I mean, what we do in the classroom, I think, should be to surprise our students with really great activities. And then praise them for taking risks. And it works the same way with teacher education too, really. I mean, surprise people. Say, come on, work with us. Yeah. You know, we're just people too. Work with us, and then praise people for joining. Really, you're great. You're doing a good job. Keep doing it. Do more of it. Yeah. So surprise really has become my own personal philosophy. So, and although I'm the surprise guy right now, for me, this idea of surprise really runs all through ITDI as well, because it's really about empowering people and praising them and helping them join into the international community. Doing great. Keep doing it. Do more of it.
How would you get people to join the international community with ITDI? I mean, it's a website at the moment, but what about the people who don't? I mean, many people don't know about it, so you're introducing it through this. But what about the people who aren't watching this or don't have that much access to technology?
Tell them about it, Maria. We'll be talking a lot about it, and I mean, everybody that's involved, including. Have I mentioned the 20 associates we have around the world, really? Not yet. But we've identified 20 really great non-native teachers around the world who are doing amazing things in their classrooms and in their communities. And each one of these people has a network already in place. And one of the things that I talk about is a quote that I have from my friend Bob Stilger, who's a community activist, who talked about, who says, your community is full of leaders waiting to be asked to step forward. So we identified these teachers, and really there's hundreds of them, but we just took 20 in right now, and we said to them, we love what you do, we think you're doing great, and then we surprised them. We said, would you like to work with us to build a course? And so these 20 teachers around the world, and if you go to the ITDI website, you'll see all of them. But these are teachers from Turkey, Slovakia, Greece, Brazil, Argentina, everywhere, really, around. Who's in the chat room? Marcia, and she rocks for sure, yeah, in Brazil, up in Guiana, Brazil. Oh, thank you. We're all going to be agents of change, yeah. And so all of these people are incredible teachers, and that's how the word will get spread. And our idea is really that you can join us and not be like us, but be a part of what we're doing. And we hope that people will see that it's something cool, and something fun, and something empowering, and they'll want to join. Right. We don't want to sell, and we don't want to push. But if anybody wants to join, come on in. Right. And we're looking for people too to collaborate with us on future projects. So if you're a non-native teacher or a native teacher out there in the world listening to this, you've got something you think you can bring to our community and teach us and work with us, let us know.
How?
I'm probably one of the easiest people to find in the whole world, really. Just Google me, or look on Facebook, or go to the ITDI.pro website. You can connect with ITDI there. Just find me. Find Stephen Herder, find Scott Thornberry, find Barbara. Barbara Hoskins Sakamoto is another person that's super easy to find through her Teaching Village program. Teaching Village website, rather. So, and meanwhile, now that Barbara's name comes up in some of the ELT chat community, this is another community I'm really proud to be a part of, though I haven't been active in the past couple of months because I've been busy working on ITDI programs. But ELT chat. Do you know about ELT chat?
No, I don't.
Maria, you really get involved in ELT chat. If you're on Twitter, get on Twitter. Really. Twitter's changed my life. It really has. Get on Twitter. Every Wednesday night. Twitter has a hashtag system. So it's hashtag ELT chat. And by using a hashtag on Twitter, you aggregate all the they're called tweets.
Yeah.
All the tweets that come together about a particular topic. So every Wednesday night, in Asia, I think it's 8 to 9 p.m. Korea, Japan time. Teachers gather around a particular topic. It might be teaching pronunciation, or one recent was reading out loud. Should we read aloud to our students in class or not? And literally hundreds of teachers from around the world just share resources and ideas, and it's almost dizzying. But it takes a little time to learn how to follow the conversation.
Yeah.
But Marissa Konstantidis in Greece is originator of ELT Chat, actually. And her, Barbara Hoskins Sakamoto, Shelley Terrell, a few, Sean Wilden, Bernie Wall, a few others, make sure that someone from the ELT Chat community every week does an archive, or what is it called? A transcript, yes, a transcript of of what took place, and so it's archived with all the resources that have been shared. So, yeah. And getting in the ELT Chat is just a really great, free way to start building a community together, you know? And so, do you know what a PLN is?
I thought I knew about technology, but you're educating me.
Pinto. A PLN stands for Personal Learning Network. And one of the most empowering ideas in education for me in professional development recently has been the idea that we can really take professional development in our own hands and connect with teachers around the world using social media like Facebook and Twitter, and start building this network of people. And if you find me on Twitter, you'll see that I follow probably 700 or 800 teachers right now who are all good at different things. And whenever I have a question anymore, like I just did a presentation on leadership, and I did this originally at TESOL Arabia conference, and they asked me to do a presentation on what do I know about leadership, really? And so I asked my personal learning network, what is a leader? I got literally 20, 30, 40 definitions. I had some conversations with people about it. They really helped me shape my ideas. So any question I have anymore, I just ask my personal learning network. Somebody somewhere knows the answer. And sometimes it's just the other day, I wanted to do a drawing program. I wanted to do some online drawing in my class. I just asked on Twitter, does anybody know any good online drawing programs? Immediately, within 2 or 3 minutes, somebody said, why don't you try Art Deck? Yeah. Somebody else said ArtPad is a really good program. So, yeah, personally build one. It'll really change your life. And I will, if you follow me, I will follow you.
I think my phone is a bit too low-tech at the moment.
You have a computer?
Yeah. Isn't Twitter just...
You don't know. You don't need a phone. I'll talk to you later about this, Maria.
This is definitely the education of Maria Pinto here.
But what I do want to say, though, is that I am the most low-tech guy around. And I keep telling this story because it's absolutely true. Until about 3 years ago, I was the guy at presentations who used a blackboard, not even a whiteboard. I used a blackboard, or big pieces of paper where I drew things in my indecipherable handwriting. And the only reason I did that is because I was scared. And I did a really big presentation in Indonesia a few years ago, and they said, Chuck, you just have to use PowerPoint or have some slides. And I started there. And then I was also really afraid to start to bring tech into my classes. I really hesitated to do that because I think when I first started to do it too, I was still working from I am a teacher kind of perspective. And if things go wrong, I'm going to look bad. And things are going to fall apart. And then something happened. I always talk about teachers changing and being the change and everything, but I have changed so much as a teacher in the past couple of years. What I'm finding now is that I can walk into a class and say, I got this idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think we can use this to do it. And my students, they go, no, Chuck, that's not going to work. But if we use this, that could work. You know, so what's happening in my classes right now is this really amazing thing where I just walk in as I'm a guy. I got this idea. Like, we did lip dubs this year. I'd seen lip dubs. I had a video actually, no. I went out and bought a video camera. I brought it. I didn't even know how to use the video camera. I brought it to class, and I showed some examples of lip dubs, and I just started talking to them. How are we going to do this? How could we do this? They figured it out. And the only time things went wrong is when I stepped in and said, you know, what I think we should do is, why don't you guys go over here, and then you can do this. And they go, no, Chuck. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to do this other thing. And then I was like, okay. But there's all kinds of different learning. And what I'm learning is that students know so much about technology, really, that they can teach me. And so you don't have to be afraid of tech either, really.
I'm not afraid of tech. I'm afraid of Twitter.
Fear not. There's nothing to worry about with Twitter, really. Twitter is just the most friendly. What are you afraid of? Yeah, what are you afraid of with Twitter?
Hey, who's the interviewer here? I'm afraid of too much tech in my life. I'm afraid of never getting away from the computer.
You know what? I have some personal rules about, like, Twitter. I mean, there are people that let their Twitter feed run all day long. I can't do that, you know? So I check Twitter 2 or 3 times a day. Sometimes a whole day goes by. I don't look. But I just pop in to see what kind of conversation is going on. I look to see if anybody's, contacted me there. And I'll write back to them. But, it's like anything else. You put limits on it. Do you watch TV?
When I remember.
I don't watch TV, but do you watch movies? Well, anything in your life, you just got to find a balance, right? You do Facebook?
That's why it gets addictive. You sit down at the computer and, just before I start doing some work, I'll just check this. And next thing you know, it's 2 days later.
That's bad. I thought I was bad. No, you just make some personal rules to follow. I can't get up in the morning and check email or Twitter or Facebook anymore. I have breakfast and do my stuff and then have a look, and then after class and yeah. So don't worry, it's not scary. I hope to see you there.
All right.
I'll ease Maria into this. Everyone in the chat room right now and who sees this later, please encourage Maria Pinto, Pinto. Friend her on Facebook, get her into the Twitterverse, right? Praise her, please.
Thanks, Chuck. I'm not quite sure I'm going to join Twitter just yet.
There's never any push or any pressure.
But I really, really loved Design for Change when you talked about it when I first met you and things. Mm-hmm. And I really like the idea of your ITDI website and approaching the teachers. I'm interested in seeing how it develops. I'm a bit not... I suppose really, again, it comes back to that technology thing, that stepping over the line into Twitter sort of thing. It's the accessing people all around the world. People have to be willing to come in.
Well, absolutely. And with ITDI, for example, we've created a platform with some great people like Sarah Mueller in Japan, who's building a platform that's so user-friendly that anybody really can do it. And you can do it on your non-smartphone even. You don't even have to have a smartphone. So, obviously, the first circle, really, of people coming into an online community like ITDI is going to be people who are already connected. Yeah. Right? And then the next circle is the people who see, it's like anything else. It's the people who see, wow, something cool is happening with these people here. I wonder what it is. Yeah. And who are a little afraid of maybe the technology or afraid of, reaching out. And they'll start to come in as well. So it's really the whole ripple effect. So if we get one teacher in one school, anywhere in the world, who starts doing stuff on ITDI, starts becoming empowered, starts changing in the classroom, what happens is that other teachers will say, wow, something's cool's going on with Maria. I wonder what it is. And you tell them, and then they want to do it too.
Yeah.
It's, again, a connection with Design for Change, right? You see some teachers doing this cool stuff with their kids, and you think, well, how can I do it? Tell me more about that. So, with any change, it just ripples out. And I think it'll happen or organically. We're never about pushing people. And I didn't mean to push you into Twitter, really. But we're never about pushing anybody. When you're ready to join, when the moment's right, when you feel the need to be more and do more and get better and improve, then join. But there's a lot of people who, for whatever reason, they feel, what I'm doing right now is okay. Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. That's fine. Yeah. But I think in every teacher's life, you reach a point where you feel like, there's got to be more. How can I connect? I feel so alone. Yeah. When people reach that point, then they'll seek out a program, whether it's ITDI or whether it's a CELTA program, whether it's a master's degree or whether it's KOTESOL. Whatever it is, people are going to join. But they need to reach that point first. So,
Personal Learning Network.
You learn. Personal Learning Network. Yes. Right.
Thank you very much, Chuck.
Oh, well, I've really enjoyed talking to you and had the chance to. I originally met Maria a couple of years ago at the Pinto conference in Khabarovsk, Russia, where it was really, really hot. And it was just a great conference, and really, Maria became part of my personal learning network in Russia. So it was great to talk to you today in Korea.